What's going on, guys? It's Cal here from Buffalo SportsCenter. Let's just jump right into it. Clearly, the Bills looked terrible against the New York Jets. The defense looked all right, but today we're going to be talking about the offense, and more importantly, Josh Allen and Ken Dorsey. Where do we even begin? Let's start with Josh Allen. Josh Allen, maybe his worst game as a professional football player. The decision-making was just absolutely awful. Absolutely incredible how horrible he was. Now, of course, I'm going to ride with Josh Allen. I mean, obviously, this is not normal Josh Allen. Josh Allen is usually a little smarter, although, that is his biggest flaw, his decision-making. But in this game, he just looked completely clueless, completely uncomfortable. The interceptions, the fumbles, it looks like he's just nervous. I don't understand what's going on with Josh Allen, but something needs to be done, right? I don't know if it's the offensive play calling, if it's, he's not ready with his receivers, if he's not familiar with their games. He's had the entire preseason, entire training camp. There's a lot of familiar faces on that offense. I know there's some new ones, but Josh Allen has to play better than that. He single-handedly lost the Bills that game. Another guy to blame, though, is offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey. Ken Dorsey, some of the play calling in that game was very questionable. Just, in the beginning of the game, Ken Dorsey was calling a lot of checkdowns, a lot of, pre-planned plays, which I think is good for Josh Allen because, as we've seen, Josh Allen likes to chuck the ball downfield into double coverage, which ends up in interceptions most of the time. So, calling these checkdowns, I was not, completely against. I think it was definitely smart to start the game with some easy passes. And then Ken Dorsey decided to kind of switch things up once the Jets figured out the checkdowns. Ken Dorsey decided to do a lot more running action, a lot more, double screens, a lot of play action. Nothing was really working. And I get the Jets defense is one of the top defenses in the league. I get it. You don't got to tell me that. With that being said, this Bills offense should have handled the Jets defense way better. I mean, putting up that few points in week one is just absolutely a disgrace, and that offense lost them the game. Ken Dorsey, he needs to be better. You look at overtime, right? Overtime, first play, Dawson Knox drops a ball. It was kind of a bad throw, but Dawson Knox still has to have that ball. Bad drop there. It is what it is. 2nd and 15, because, of course, we had a false start before the first play. 2nd and 15, what does Ken Dorsey call? A halfback draw. A halfback draw that has not been working all game. The run up the middle did not work the entire game. And what does Ken Dorsey call? He calls a halfback draw right up the middle, gets about 3 yards, already setting yourself up for failure. 3rd down, it's basically, a Superman play. You got to do something crazy. Josh Allen, of course, looks to his main guy, Stefon Diggs. Stefon Diggs, the ball wasn't great. Stefon Diggs was covered pretty good, went right through his hands, but that's a tough catch. I don't think, we can really blame Stefon Diggs for anything this game, minus maybe that push-off that was kind of ticky-tacky, but it is what it is. We saw the only drive that game that the Bills looked somewhat competent on offense was that last drive to kick the game-tying field goal before overtime. Josh Allen looked confident in that drive. He went to his main man Diggs most of the time on that drive, and it just seemed like, that's the offense that we want to see. Unlike this pre-planned out, scripted offense that just has not been working. They gave each running back a little bit of time, Cook mainly, Damian Harris a little bit, and then they give Latavius Murray a drive, which he seems to be doing great, and 3rd and 2, we run one of the worst play calls I've ever seen. It easily could have ran that up the middle on 3rd and 2. Instead, they give Josh Allen the ball. At this point, he's already thrown, I think, 2 interceptions. He has Kincaid wide open under the middle. Decides to go to Gabe Davis, which, again, is covered. Not double covered, not necessarily, because, the guy covering Kincaid drops back a little bit and ends up intercepting that, but still just a dumb play call. You go back to Josh Allen's other interceptions, 2 absolute heaves downfield in the double coverage. The first one to Hardy, who, that's basically an arm punt at that point because the guy's, 5'6", 5'7", double covered down the field. An absolutely dumb decision by Josh Allen. Does the same thing later in the game to Stefon Diggs. Diggs tries to stop the interception, but when you're throwing it double team down the field and your receivers are not going for the ball but trying to stop the interception, that's when you know you have a problem. An absolutely disgusting game from the Bills offense. They deserved to win that game the way the defense played. With that being said, I'm seeing a lot of people panic, as it sounds like I am right now. But let's slow down a little bit. It's week one. Like I said before, the Chiefs lost, the Bengals lost, the Steelers lost, the Chargers lost, the Patriots lost. half the teams in the league lose in week 1. It is what it is. The Bills have an upcoming game this week, home opener against the Las Vegas Raiders. This should be an easy win. If the offense plays somewhat better than they did, it should be an easy win. I really like what the Bills defense is doing, and this game should be a great bounce-back opportunity for the Buffalo Bills. With that being said, Ken Dorsey needs to get it together. Josh Allen needs to get it together, because if you play like this every single game this season, you're not making the playoffs, with how good this AFC is. So, it's a stressful first week. I thought that game was going to be, sloppy, but did not expect a loss after Zach Wilson came in the game for the second drive. It is what it is, though. Need to bounce back. It's the NFL. It's a long season, but each loss, can add up very quickly. So, with that being said, thank you guys for watching this video. I'm just as disgusted as you guys are, but we got to stay level. We got to stay composed, because that was one game. And hopefully we can handle the Raiders a little bit better. Go Bills.